I grew up all my life glued to a computer. When I first started talking, I was already browsing through my uncle's computer, switching between games. By the time I was 10, I was taking over my family's MSN accounts and making them send each other awkward messages. I was 10 at the time, so the messages were stuff like, "I hate you," or "Give me back my Power Ranger." As you can imagine, I had no friends growing up. I was bullied and pushed around a lot. I'm autistic, so I guess that was the reason. I don't know, nor will I ever. My old man kept telling me I had to stand up for myself, that I had to show them I wasn't afraid. Truth is, I couldn't fight back. I tried, but my punches were weak and my kicks would tickle. I spent the best part of 6 years thinking the only way I could fight back was by physically fighting them. Little did I know that the world I grew up in, the virtual world, was about to become a second life for everyone. From here on, my mistakes started to pile up. I was 16. Everyone was using Facebook, Twitter, what was popular. People flocked to it. I had a main bully, as you could say, Brock. Brock was the definition of a bully. I guess it made what I did to him easier to live with. You see, Brock loved to brag. His girlfriend was hot, his figure was fit, and he was amazing at sports. His only downside was he was completely dumb, and he hated anyone that excelled academically. Surprise, surprise, I was the smart one. I guess that was the upside to my autism. He hated that, and proceeded to make my life a living hell. I tried fighting back again using my weak body, forgetting my strongest weapon was my mind. So one day while I was browsing Facebook, I came across Brock as a suggested friend. He was now in my world, and suddenly, something clicked. I created a burn account, jazzed it up and made it look legit. I added Brock as a friend and proceeded to find out as much as I could about him. I found his girlfriend as well, and I also sent her a friend request. I then sent Brock an email from Facebook claiming his account had been compromised and to download a PDF file with all the security measures updated. What a complete fool. I had access to his laptop and proceeded to find everything there was to know about him. I knew so much that at any point in time, I could tell you where he was, what he was doing, and who he was doing it with. I also had his laptop camera send me images every so often, just so I knew what he was up to. When his girlfriend came over, I was ready. I booted up my online dating application and started sending messages to Brock. "Hey baby, can't wait to see you tomorrow. Last week was a blast." I won't go into so much detail, but due to the fact that I knew what he was up to, it was easy to convince his girlfriend that his online babe was real. I didn't stop there. I downloaded on his laptop as much gay porn as I could find. At a time where homosexuality wasn't as accepted as it is today, you could imagine how his parents reacted to his fun drive. He didn't come back to school since then. My guess is he moved out of town. I don't know. I didn't care to look anymore. To me, that was a small victory, and I relished in it. Now, I wish I would have stopped there. Oh God, I wish I stopped there. You see, I was addicted. That feeling of justice being served by my hands was one I loved and wanted more. Due to those desires, I eventually started to target criminals, the type that used the dark web to hide and spread their filth. For 4 straight years, I was a pain in their life. Pedophiles, rapists, heavy drug dealers, you name it. If they were online, I was making their lives a living hell. I thought I was being smart. I thought I was hiding myself pretty well. But man, something was following me every step of the way, and it would soon tell me. I woke up one morning as any normal day. I booted up my desktop and browsed Reddit. The usual was on. Guys complaining that something was overpowered, something was underpowered, the game designers weren't listening, and the usual morning chuckle. That's when I heard a ping. The Facebook Messenger notification sound. Funny. I didn't open Facebook yet. Maybe I did and I forgot. It was odd, but not enough to sound any major alarms. A message from someone I don't know, and it read, "Hey Danny, what's the weather like in Japan?" What the hell? Weather in Japan? I'm on the other side of the world. The name read James Puckerson. On my other monitor, I started to go through his profile, trying to find any mutual friends. You know, someone I met in a party or something. I then responded with, "Sunny, I hope. Anyone who knows me knows I hate rain." I kept looking, but nothing of interest pops up. James then replies, "Oh, a funny guy. Tell me, Danny, do you enjoy playing games?" At this point, I think he's referring to video games. Yeah, dude. What do you have in mind? League of Legends? Dota? I don't mind. Oh, Danny, I didn't mean one of those childish games. I mean a real game. You know, the type that involves putting one's life on the line. I let out a chuckle. Someone probably hacked my Facebook account and is now trolling me. This isn't a joke, Danny. I take these games extremely seriously. Okay, what? How did he know I laughed? Did he guess? There's no way he can see me. My camera isn't even plugged in, and how could he have gotten into my apartment? My Facebook profile had a fake address on it, and I never used my real address for anything, not even Amazon or eBay. This has to be a joke. I then wrote, "Sure, dude, I'm bored anyways." I was buying time to try to find out where this creep was. I scoured everywhere trying to find any small clue to latch onto. That's when I found something, kept going, and looked into it more, eventually leading up to an address. When I looked at the address, I completely froze. It was my address. I was the only one living there, but somehow this creep was using my address as a cover. Another message. "I see you've gone extremely pale, Danny. What's the matter? Don't believe in ghosts?" I couldn't move. This guy could see me. He knew every move I was making, and I didn't know what to do. Do I run away and burn everything down? Fry my hard drives and shred my motherboard? What is going on here? Ring ring, Danny. Ring ring. My phone starts to ring, but it isn't James. The caller ID read, "Mum." I immediately picked up the phone. I did, however, hesitate to speak. I can't show my mom I'm afraid of something. She'd worry way too much, so I try to act cool. Hey Mom, is everything alright?" What I heard next made me drop my phone in horror. It made me realize that this was real and this wasn't a joke. A voice, obviously modulated to hide the identity of the caller, but the threat was real and I knew who it was. "Hey Danny, what's the weather like in Japan?" I stood frozen in horror. Panic swept over my body, and thoughts flooded my mind. What happened to my mother? Is she okay? What is this creep doing with her phone? I knew I had to calm down. Something didn't seem right. I picked up the phone and looked at the caller ID. It just said Mum, no number. How could I be so stupid? He was just masking his caller ID. Must be to throw me off balance. I'll play along. There must be something I'm missing. What are you doing with my mom's phone? Where is she? Is she okay? A laugh came from the other end, a deep, disgusting laugh. I decided to record the call. Maybe I can play around with the recording and find this caller's real voice. It may not be much, but this creep knows where I live and probably who my parents are. That's when he starts talking.
Oh, Danny. The safety of your mother depends on the outcome of our little game. I told you one life is on the line, but I should have elaborated and said it shouldn't necessarily be the player's life. So, are you ready to play?
At this point I had a thought. How can James see me? I have no cameras connected to the Wi-Fi. My desktop camera is disconnected, and I ripped out my laptop camera when I got the damn thing. Another option would be he broke into my apartment and installed cameras when I was out. But why would he risk getting caught like that? I may have cameras at home and catch him doing it. No, he must be using one of my devices. It doesn't seem like I have a choice, James. So let's play. We've all watched those horror movies. These games weren't exactly a Mario Kart sort of level. Suddenly I knew. I wanted to throw myself from my apartment for how stupid I'd been. In my hand, I held the single device that had a camera and was connected to my Wi-Fi. My phone. I didn't want to jump to the conclusion that that was the only camera that was being used, so I decided to test it. Before I do anything though, he then begins to speak.
Well, Danny, I must say, you've got some balls. Most guys would have started to cry or beg me to stop. This will most certainly be fun.
I've had enough of this bullcrap. I started Googling stuff like how to track a phone call and how to find cameras in a house. I wanted to see if he could see my screen. The confirmation came through.
Oh, Danny, it's cute you're still trying to fight back, but I can assure you, you will not be able to track this call, and you will not find out how I can see you.
Oh really? Challenge accepted then. I angle my phone away from my bag and take out a USB dongle. If this creep is on my Wi-Fi, I'm gonna make him think he's controlling all of my devices. I look for my laptop while trying to make as little noise as possible, and again, angling my phone away from what I'm doing. I find my laptop, boot it up, and plug my dongle into it. Yeah, well, I'm a tough one to crack. So when are we playing, James? And do go over the rules properly, yeah? I would love to beat you by playing by your own rules. My strategy was to show no fear. In truth, I was terrified, but I knew the instant he smelled fear, he would have total control over me, and I'd screw up and forget basic stuff like I had when this show first started. I knew this creep was using my network somehow, so I decided to hack my own network and see how he got in. Maybe he left something behind.
The rules are simple, Danny. You wanted to play judge, jury, and executioner. So in turn, we're gonna have to go through your history of White Knight Justice and see just how much of a hero you really are.
Hero? Huh? There was a time when I thought I was a hero. Maybe it was when I made that child molester end his own life. I told myself I was a hero because he wouldn't hurt another child. In truth, was I a murderer? Was this my past coming to haunt me? No time to think about this. It isn't just my life on the line here. Everyone I care about is in danger, and there's no time to be selfish. Hero? That's cute, James, but I've always known I was the devil, a necessary evil. But sure, let's take a walk down memory lane. Maybe that will remind you who you're dealing with here. My attempts were bringing up nothing. I managed to break into my own network many times, but I couldn't find a trace of another device, not a trace of information transfer. Wait, information transfer? Outgoing and incoming traffic. Oh, I'm so stupid. He can see a stream of my screen, which means I have outgoing traffic somewhere, right? I start watching my outgoing traffic, encrypted of course, but there was still an address. A server that this information was going through. I find the address of the server and decide to do something extremely stupid and might sentence myself to prison, or worse, no access to a computer. But I decide that this is a small price to pay for the safety of my family.
Well, Danny. Watch your screen as the image pops up. Let's roll the tape, ladies and gentlemen.
What a complete psycho. I don't pay attention to the tone of his voice as I set up my botnet for a distributed denial of service attack. My hope is that if I bring down the server for a bit, I'll be able to see where the requests are coming from and track it from there. It is a long shot, but it might work. As I'm doing this, I also stop recording the call and send the recording over to my laptop. All the while I'm angling my phone away from my laptop, and since he hasn't spoken of it, my theory that the only camera being my phone turned out to be correct. I finally feel like I'm making the right moves in this twisted game of chess. I'm just hoping I'll be the one to say checkmate at the end of it though.
Victim number 1, Brock, 16 years old. You destroyed his relationship and got him kicked out of his home. He spent 3 years on the streets before overdosing on heroin. That wasn't a nice thing to do, Danny.
A picture of 16-year-old Brock pops up. He died? Oh, I mean, he was a bully, but he didn't deserve to die. I went too far, but I couldn't admit it, not to this psycho. I had to show him that I had no heart. Well, life sucks. Survival of the fittest. Maybe he should have been careful with whom he messed with. Another disgusting laugh. James is enjoying himself. Should I be? No time for that right now. I put the phone on speaker and placed it on my desk, weary that the front camera may be used, so I kept it well out of sight and put my earphone into my left ear. Time to tweak around with this recording and unmodulate this voice.
Oh, Danny, this isn't gonna end well for you if you show no remorse. Now the fun begins. Remember his girlfriend? It's confession time, Danny.
As if it were alive, my PC opened up Skype and auto-signed in. Oh, I'm so stupid. Was I really that lazy? A number is entered into it, and it starts dialing.
Ring, ring.
What do you want me to do, James? Tell her that the online babe was me, and Brock wasn't a cheating dickhead? What's that going to change? My botnet was ready, and I started my attack on the server address instantly. I then watched my incoming and outgoing traffic closely. All I needed was a hiccup, something that will lead me to James. In that moment, it was like the entire world grinded to a halt. In that moment, it wouldn't matter to me if the moon was crashing down onto Earth to end all life as we knew it. All that mattered was this stream of information. I could hear the second hand of my watch ticking. There, a clue. Phew, I was starting to lose hope. I start working on it. Did James notice? I'd imagine his connection to my network might have dropped since I saw a request ping, but nothing going back. Was he too busy trying to guilt trip me that he got cocky and didn't notice? My Skype was still ringing. Was she going to pick up?
Hello?
A girl's voice. She sounds kinda cute actually. Is James hooking us up? Okay. Wrong time for jokes here. James speaks to me.
Go on, Danny. Answer her. Tell her your name and what you did to Brock.
I decided to play along. It's true he didn't call me from my mom's number, but that doesn't mean he still can't hurt her.
Liz? It's Daniel Kurt. We went to school together with Brock.
There was a pause. I can't imagine how awkward this must be for her. I didn't have the time to care though. I ran a search on the address, and while that was going on, I continued tweaking with the recording.
Danny? That loony kid that used to get beaten up all the time?
Ah, what a cow. I had to fight back the urge to show and educate her on what autism is. Whatever though, it's not my concern. At least breaking this news to her won't be as painful to me as I thought.
Yeah, that's me, the loony kid. Anyways, so listen. I don't suppose you remember Brock Leland? You kinda slept with him at that time.
Maybe not the best choice of words.
Yeah, I remember him. I heard he died from a drug overdose. Makes me feel horrible breaking up with him.
Another pause.
Why?
How do I say this? This is a confession. If she takes this to the police, I'm screwed. I wonder if there's any chance I have getting away with this. I was 16 though. Does it even matter? I read somewhere that crimes committed before 18 aren't dealt with anymore. I mean, I was just a kid. To hell with this. I need to stop this madness before he makes me call a victim of an attack I committed after 18.
Yeah, well, it's my fault he did this. He made my life horrible when I was in school, so I decided to fight back. He never cheated on you. I just made it look like he was.
A really long pause. Gives me time to work on this recording. Nothing remotely human yet. I'm still searching for that address. Why is it taking forever?
Danny.
Her voice was extremely soft. I was expecting something else. An angrier tone would have made more sense.
Yeah?
I know.
She knows. What does she mean? Is she connected to James? Or was this going against James' plan? Is she James?
What? How do you know?
Another pause. What the hell is going on here? How the hell does she know? My search comes up with something. James is definitely in the same country, but I had to narrow it down. Why is it taking way too long? I hear her taking a deep breath.
I always knew Brock was faithful. It's why I stuck around. I wanted to leave him because he was a hard person. Not to me, but to other people. I mean, look at you, Danny. Sure, you were bullied by everyone, but Brock kept taking it too far. And it wasn't just you. Other people would be pushed around by him every day, and I was sick of it.
Another pause. Is she crying? I can definitely hear her cry. I didn't want to cut in at all. I let her take her time.
I guess I was looking for a way out, and seeing this girl that Brock supposedly cheated on me with was my ticket. I knew he was faithful, and I had to take this chance and end the relationship there. I didn't know his life would be ruined because of it. I mean, for crying out loud, we were just kids.
Her voice had gotten louder now. I could tell she was beating herself up about this. I had to comfort her in some way.
Liz, it wasn't your fault. He made the wrong choices in life and ultimately couldn't live up to them. You were trapped in that relationship. You were under no obligation to continue with him. It wasn't your fault. I did this, and I will gladly take the blame. I gotta still ask though, how'd you know it was me?
She laughs. I guess that was a stupid question. I knew the answer before she said it.
I'm not stupid, Danny. I knew Brock isn't the type of person to get in trouble with an anonymous or stuff like that. I knew that Brock made someone mad who was good with computers, and the only person I could think of was you.
All right.
I laughed. I didn't care if James was listening. I didn't care if he would blast through the door and shoot me in the head. I laughed at how stupid I really was, and how I thought I was being so clever, and that's when a thought quickly wormed itself into my mind. James was not going to be happy with this outcome.
Liz, are you with someone right now?
My thoughts are to get her somewhere safe, somewhere James can't get to her without causing too much attention.
No, I'm out.
That's when the line suddenly cut.
Liz,
I pick up my phone.
what have you done to her, you twisted creep?
Silence. Not a single noise. I looked at my phone puzzled. We were still connected. Where did he go? This ain't the time for a toilet break. Then I heard a sound. He's there, and he starts to speak, and he isn't happy.
Homo sapiens, an intriguing species. They never do things the way you expect them to.
I hear a sigh.
She will be dealt with soon. For now, though, let's continue our trip down memory lane.
Oh my god. He's going to kill her. I needed to hurry up and find something. Anything. I can't let anyone else die because of me. I can't. Another picture shows up. The child molester that I scared and ended up taking his own life. What sort of justice was James looking for here, if any at all? I start to panic. Why is he making me do all of this? Surely he knows I did these attacks. He has the evidence. Why not just turn it over to the police? That's all the more reason to find this creep.
Jordan Fisher, age 36. You masqueraded as all the children he molested and caused him to take his own life. Now, you might think this is an act of heroism, but if so, why haven't you told anyone about your heroic act, Danny?
He was mocking me. His continued talk of heroism disgusted me. I needed to find Liz. I needed to alert the police and let them know she's in danger.
And what do you suppose you're doing now, James? Are you a hero to these people? Are you acting out their revenge? Wake up, you creep. These people are criminals. All I did was rid the world of them.
I looked over to my search window. It was narrowing it down. I was finally getting somewhere. Back to tweaking the voice recording. I felt like I was getting close to finding out what James' real voice was like, but it wasn't male. It was definitely female. Well, anything that will tell me anything about James will help. One thing is certain. People feel safe as long as they're under the illusion that they are secure. Once you break that illusion, once you burst out of that bubble, they start to panic. And one thing you can be certain of, people that panic screw up everything. It's human nature, I guess. That's when James responds.
Justice? I'm not doing this for justice, Danny. I'm playing a game with you. It doesn't seem like you understand what the game is yet. I feel sorry for you. Anyway, let's continue. Fisher had a daughter. Did you know that? She was 15 when her dad took his own life. Tell me, Danny, don't you think she should know why her dad died? I mean, it's only fair, right? Time to confess. Oh, I almost forgot. Her name is Sarah. You'll need that when you talk to her.
As before, another number was dialed from my Skype and began to ring. She was 15? I was still 16 at the time. How can a child molester have kids? I deprived one of her dad, but he was a monster. What have I done?
Hello? Who's there? Help me!
A girl, her voice aching with distress. I could hear an echo. Where is she? And why does she sound like she's in trouble? James suddenly starts to speak again.
Oh, Danny. You better answer her. Who knows what might happen to her?
Another one of his laughs echoed through my phone speakers, and it absolutely disturbed me. I guess I had no choice.
Sarah? Are you okay? What's going on?
I thought it'd be best to check if she was alright before confessing to my crime.
I don't know. I think I'm okay. I can't feel my legs.
Her breath rate starts to increase.
Who are you? Where am I? Help me, please.
What is going on here? Did James kidnap her? I needed to calm her down. What kind of twisted game was this?
Just calm down, Sarah. Take deep breaths. Can you look around and tell me what you see?
I turned to my phone. James was silent. I wasn't having it. It was time for some answers.
Okay, James. What the hell is going on? What have you done to Liz and Sarah?
James was quick to respond this time.
10 minutes, Danny. You have 10 minutes. Find them.
I was just as quick to react. Screw trying to find James right now. There are innocent lives on the line here. I need to find them. I needed to trace Sarah's phone, and I had an idea how. Sarah responds before I could do anything though.
It's so dark in here. I see a camera on a stand in front of me. I'm in a chair, but I can't get up. I can't feel my legs. It's so dark in here. Oh my God, what is going on?
Ah, damn it. He's probably using a burner phone. No good to me right now. Tracing it will take ages. Hang on. Sarah is 19. She has to have a smartphone with her.
Sarah, listen to me very carefully. I need you to feel your pockets. Do you have a smartphone? And if so, what is it, and is it on you?
I hear a few groans. Whatever James did to her was painful. My guess was her legs were broken.
Yes, I have my iPhone with me. It's not dead. Shall I call the police?
She then asked, but I could tell from her tone she was happy she still had her phone on her.
If she calls the police, she dies instantly.
James snaps.
If you don't want her to die, you have to find her yourself.
Damn it. I didn't intend to rely on the police anyway, but they would have helped. I need to find a way to explain to her just how dire the situation was without making her panic enough to call the police. I didn't think James would be happy with me telling her the conditions of our little game, but my brain worked quick.
Sarah, no need to call the police. I'm a detective. I've been looking for you as you've been missing for a while. Now you need to tell me what your iCloud username and password is. I'll track you using your Find My iPhone.
I try to keep my voice calm. I didn't want to induce panic. She gives me her details, and I log into iCloud and look for her phone. Within a matter of seconds, it shows me the location of the phone. Not that far from where I live. It was only a 5-minute walk.
Look, I got her location, James. Now let her go.
Another laugh. How the hell can someone enjoy this?
Oh, Danny. I didn't ask you to give her location. I asked you to find her. Run, Danny, but take your phone with you. We still have a lot to chat about.
It dawned on me why she was so close, and why he gave me such a long time frame for an easy task. I had to physically find her, so I dropped everything and ran. Before I left the apartment, I grabbed a small kitchen knife and wrapped it with a towel. I might need it, though I doubt it will do anything if a real threat shows itself. I run to the address as fast as I possibly could. At the time, I rarely exercised, and when I reached the address, I felt like dying. I saw a large building in front of me, at least 7 stories high. There were no bells to ring, so I banged on the door as hard as I could. No reply. I didn't have time to waste. I tried to find a weak spot in the door. It was old, so that wasn't too hard. Remember how I said I didn't exercise? Well, try busting down a door when you struggle to open a jar of honey. I looked around for something to use. There were a couple of bricks lying around. I instantly grabbed one, and I threw it at the door, hoping there isn't anyone on the other side. The brick just bounced off. I then picked it up and started hitting the hinges of the door. After a few swings, it finally let loose. One hinge down, no time to celebrate. I keep hammering at the door until it finally breaks loose. Sarah, are you here? Can you hear me? I run inside and I look around hastily. There must have been 20 or so rooms in the building. I didn't have the time to look through each one.
Help! I'm here! Help me, please!
That's Sarah. I run to where I hear her voice. Sarah, I'm here. Keep talking to me. I'm coming.
Detective, I'm over here. Be careful. There's someone else here.
I stop outside the door where the sound is coming from. Is James here? Would he risk exposing his identity like this? I'm running out of time, so I take out the small knife and kick open the door. I step into the room, knife raised, steadying my breath. I look around the room. It's dark and I wait for my eyes to adjust. I start to make out a chair with someone seated in it, a stand with what I assumed was the camera from Sarah's description, and a figure standing opposite to me, a female figure. I couldn't quite see her face yet. My eyes were taking forever to adjust. I turned to face this figure while glancing at Sarah. Sarah, are you okay? I asked sternly. I need to make sure she's fine before whatever's about to go down.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel my legs again, but I still can't move. There's another girl here, red hair, but she's passed out.
She sounds relieved. I guess she thinks I'm a fit detective with dashing hair and stunning eyes. Oh, I do not envy her for the disappointment she's in for. The red-haired girl was probably Liz. So this is the grand battle then. At least it's almost over. Just as I'm about to address the figure, who I could only assume was James, I hear a familiar voice coming from her.
Hey, Danny.
I freeze. That voice. It can't be. No, it's impossible. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense, but it also terrified me. Who was the one person I kept no secrets with? Who was the one person that knew everything I had ever done? Who was the one person that had access to my address, PC, apartment, phone, everything I owned? Who was the one person I shared my heart with? My one true love. Angela? I whispered softly. The thought that my girlfriend, my heart and soul had done this, completely crushed me. I felt tears rolling down my face. Of course, it all made sense. This supreme hacker never did any hacking at all. She had installed cameras in my apartment because she was always there. She knew I didn't have any of my own. She had her address spoofed as my own because, well, she knew what it was. She added James to my Facebook account because she had my login details for Facebook. I shared everything with her, and the thought of her doing this never crossed my mind. Why? Why are you doing this? What are you doing? I don't understand. What did I ever do to you? I'm speaking through tears, and I can barely string together a sentence. My eyes start to adjust and I see her. Angela. Is she crying as well? Or am I hallucinating? No, those are definitely tears. Is she really James? Or did James threaten her to do this?
Ta-da!
She sings through tears.
Are you proud of me yet, Danny? Did you enjoy our little game?
At this point, I'm angry, confused, and tired. Why? I screamed. The tears don't stop. Instead, they increase with intensity. Why are you doing this? Why are you hurting innocent people? Why are you hurting me? I've only ever loved you and cared for you. Why? She laughs. Her laugh is fake, I can tell, but she still laughs.
Why?
She says in a mocking tone.
Don't you know why, Danny? Don't you know why your lovely girlfriend is doing this? Danny, did you not find it odd that I didn't introduce you to my parents? Ever?
I did find that odd. She was always reluctant on telling me who her parents were. But I didn't mind. I loved her for her, not for her parents. I'm searching for answers. Then it hits me. Her dad must have been a victim of one of my many attacks, and I confessed it all to her. But still, if he was a victim to an attack from me, he must have been a criminal. Why is she doing this?
Oh, it seems like you understand. My dad was David Jessington. You know, the drug dealer you put behind bars. I loved you, Danny. I still do. But when my dad was arrested, he made me swear to make whoever did this to him pay. I tried, and I looked for whoever did, but after a year, I gave up. Then, I met you, and fell in love. I thought we could live our lives forever together. Then you had to tell me that you wanted there to be no secrets between us. You had to tell me everything you've ever done, including getting my dad arrested.
She takes a breath and wipes away her tears, then continues.
I spent weeks fighting with myself internally. I tried to forget that I was in love with the man responsible for me not being able to see my father. I tried, but I couldn't. Eventually, I went and visited my dad. I asked him if I still had to make the one who did this to him pay, even if it was someone I loved deeply. I pleaded with him to forgive me, but he looked at me and told me that if I had the power to avenge him and didn't, he'd disown me as a daughter and never forgive me.
Her tears had returned, and she started to stutter as she spoke.
Danny, I love you. I always will, but I swore to my dad. And if he ever finds out I let you go, he'd kill me. At least, if I make it look like I made you pay, he'll let you go. I don't care if I'm arrested. I don't care if you hate me forever. I love you, Danny, and that's why I'm doing this.
My heart ached. I felt her pain. I felt her struggle. I wanted more than anything to just hug her and tell her it'll all be okay. I dropped my knife and started walking towards her. I didn't care if she killed me. I didn't care if the whole world was against me. I loved her, and I wanted to fight for her. With every step I took towards her, my heart began to flutter. It was like I was falling in love with her again. But she kept crying and raised her knife toward me.
Danny, stop. Please stop. I don't want to do this. I can't let you get close to me again. Please, Danny, stop.
She realized I didn't care if I died. That's when she raised the knife to her neck. I stopped and stared at her eyes, her beautiful, hurting eyes.
Please, Danny. I don't want to hurt you anymore. I can't do this anymore. Please stop.
I run to her as she's about to drive the knife into her neck. I hold the blade with my bare hand. Blood starts dripping from the fresh wounds, but I don't care. I stare into her eyes and softly whisper, I love you, Angela. I always have and I always will. I don't care who your dad is. I don't care if the whole world is on his side. I will fight for you. I will die for you. Stop this madness. Let's face this world together. She continues to cry and drops the knife as I lean in to kiss her. I hear sirens in the background. Someone must have seen me breaking into the building and alerted the police, but I didn't care. I was in my own world, with the other half of my heart. What happened next was a blur. First it was the police, then it was the ambulance. Angela and I were arrested. but thanks to the witness reports by Liz and Sarah, I was released immediately. I attended Angela's hearing, and she looked happy to see me there. Her sentence wasn't too long, less than her father's, but I didn't care. I promised I'd fight with her until the end, and I meant every word. I keep visiting her every time I get the chance, each visit with a new gift, each visit with more stories to tell each other. She'll be out in one day, and I will always be there for her. Once she comes out, we will move away. I'm working hard, taking every shift I can, earning every penny I can. I won't ever hack again. I won't ever take justice into my own hands, because even though I have helped someone, I have also hurt another, and maybe they deserve it. Maybe what I did was right, but I am not justice. I have no right to claim to be. I have made some mistakes in the past, and maybe James was my justice. For now, though, I know what I must do, and I have my heart set on the path I have chosen. Maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe I should have let her die and continued my vigilante run. Maybe there's no place far enough for us to run where her father can't find us. But I don't care. My fight isn't over. It has only just begun.